9 Years podcast.
Hello everybody, welcome to the second edition of the 9 Years podcast, the podcast of choice for Eamon Holmes and his wife, Ruth Langsford. Ruth Langsford, big fan, so I'm told. Anyway, hello, my name is Nick Draper, and joining me today for our season preview show is the man voted Crawley's best Ray Wilkins tribute act 2014, Stuart Deakins. Hello, Stu.
Hello, Nick. Hello, everybody.
So this is our weekly 25-minute independent AFC Wimbledon podcast, and today is Thursday the 6th of August, just 2 days away from the start of the new season. All very excited. So today we'll discuss what we're expecting from the coming League Two campaign across the division, not just for the Dons, but we will start with a look at how things are going for Neil and the squad. Now, last week we played our final two pre-season games, drawing 1-1 with Kingstonian, and then beating Cheltenham 3-1 on Saturday. And Stu, I imagine the side that started against Cheltenham is probably closer to the one that will kick off against Plymouth on Saturday.
Yeah, I think probably right. So Kingstonians was mainly the under-21s with some under-18s with a bit of backbone. So you sort of Jonathan Meads was in there, Nightingale was in there. Whereas Cheltenham, naturally, Cheltenham being in the conference this year was a stronger 11. But two good run-outs that we had on Thursday and Saturday.
What are we looking at for Saturday? Are we looking? Were we 3-4-3 for both games? This is the sort of what we're expecting at the start of the season, aren't we? 3-4-3.
Yeah, it was 3-4-3. Yeah, 3-4-3 for both games. Interesting with Kingstonian. To be fair, people that were there probably would have seen that Kingstonian had a good fair share of the game, and we probably edged a draw. But I would have said Kingstonian's probably been more disappointed not to beat us on the night. But we played 3-4-3. It probably showed the formation that if you don't play it with enough tempo, that the formation has its flaws. You have to play with a high tempo switch. So that's probably a good thing to see from Thursday, where Saturday we played at a high tempo and the formation works really well.
Nice, good. One player then from those two games that really stood out for you?
Well, from the Kingstonians game, I'd say there's probably two. Jonathan Meads was very, very good, very calm midfield. But Christian Tunga stood out, centre midfield, 17 years old, playing against men, as in Kingstonians, who are obviously at that level, as we know previously, will be more physical. And I wouldn't say Christian is the most physical person, but he came out really well. Cheltenham, my one is Andy Barcham. I just think he was really good, adds a lot of pace to that left-hand side and will cause Neil Hardy some headaches this year, I think, of who to pick, because there's some strong competition outside. Yeah,
it's kind of an interesting one, because I'm thinking Jonathan Mead, I'm guessing, played centre midfield against Kingstonian.
Yes.
And then Barcham's playing in a position where there's a lot of competition on that sort of left-hand side. Or did he play up front? Was he part of the front three, or was he playing out wide on the left? Where was he?
No, he was part on the left, so of the four-man midfield, he was the left of the four.
So we're looking at Callum Kennedy, Sean Rigg, someone's missing out somewhere along the line.
Ben Harrison you can knock into a mix as well, so there's a few there competing.
Can be very interesting to see. Okay, so one player then last week that might be sweating on their place for opening day.
There's probably a few. In terms of, I suppose, if you look at it, Nightingale, Will's done nothing wrong this season, pre-season. He'd probably be sweating in terms of whether we were getting the action. Obviously, with Paul Robinson coming in, he's probably going to be concerned. You have to look at also Callum Kennedy. Probably thinking, has Barcham done enough? Kennedy's done nothing wrong, and I think he will be pushing. And finally, I've got one more, as I'd like to give more than what you asked, just to make it a bit more interesting.
Right. Yeah.
I reckon Reece could be in for a bit of a sweat over the first couple of weeks, because, like I say, Jonathan Meads and Danny Bulmer have done a good job. So there's some interesting decisions for Neil Ardley.
There is. We'll talk a little bit more about the Plymouth game later, but it does. Normally, we do go into opening day, and we kind of already know what the starting 11 is likely to be. But there's a lot of options this time. It's going to be very interesting to hear the team news on Saturday. But before we do that, let's get to our main topic then for today, which is our season preview, our League 2 season preview. What I've done is I've got a list of questions here. I've actually got 9 questions, as we are the 9 years podcast. See what I've done there. And I'm just going to choose at random from a list, Stu, and fire them at you. Get your opinions on what you're expecting from the next 9 months on a recurring theme. First question then, big one. 2 teams that are going to go down then this season. Who do you reckon?
My 2 this year are going to be Newport County.
Yep.
And personally, I think York will as well, and that's more for personal reasons because I really don't like travelling to York.
Really?
York is not a favourite after.
I suppose, yeah. The 5 million.
Yeah, many people have travelled up on the day to a game on a Saturday when it got called off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon due to their drainage, apparently, of their pitch, and then the recurring game getting beat 5-0. And in all fairness, York have been struggling a little bit. I think financially they're also up against it.
Yeah.
So, and Newport County has been well publicised that their budget has been slashed by, I think, a good 2/3, hasn't it? So, they're my relegation candidates.
Yeah, definitely. Newport, obviously, with their backer withdrawing his money, they seem to be in big trouble. York, again, financially, their new stadium's just been delayed. So that could be a little bit concerned for them as well financially. So I'll make you right on those 2. I'm going to chuck Accrington in the mix again. I know they come up every year.
Ooh.
Just looking at their squad this year, I'm looking at it and thinking that looks very thin this year. But I've actually got a bit more to talk about Accrington later, so I'll save that one for later. Okay. On the theme of relegation then, 4 teams relegated from League 1 last season. Notts County, Yeovil, Crawley and Leighton Orient.
Yeah.
How do you think those 4 will get on this season? Now, normally, last few seasons, I think 4 out of the last 5 seasons, at least one of the relegated teams has won promotion straight back up. Do you see any of these 4 doing that this time round?
The only team I've seen that I really think got the capabilities, and it really depends how they go, is Notts County. Mm-hmm. Just mainly because the budget they had, reportedly the budget they had in League 1 was in the top 10 of League 1. Of course, we all know budgets should mean nothing, but realistically it does. I think Notts County have recruited a lot of players. I believe they got a foreign manager, haven't they? So
yeah.
Notts County would not for automatic promotion. I don't think Notts County. Normally relegated teams come down with a bit of a bump, a bit of a what's this all about in League 2, and I think Notts County probably would do that.
Okay. Yeah.
But playoffs at best, I reckon.
Okay. No one's going to fall straight through into the conference, are they? None of these 4 are going to be. Crawley might struggle, but I can't see them going down. No,
the only one I think the interesting Crawley depends on who they keep. If they keep McLeod, which they've done well to keep all pre-season, but reportedly, interestingly enough, Notts County are interested in him. But the only team I think that could go all the way down would possibly be Yeovil, because they've got to stop the rot at some point. But Yeovil, very similar to teams like Plymouth, who struggle to recruit that part of the country because people don't want to live there. Don't know why. It's a lovely part of the country.
Yeah.
And they've got Paul Stark, haven't they, who's got a good record in League 2. But I think Yeovil is a very difficult one to. They've got to stop the rot this year. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Next question then. Talking about signings and Yeovil struggling to make signings. Who do you think who are your top 3 transfers over the summer? Which 3 players have moved clubs to League 2? Do you think is going to have the biggest impact?
Yeah, there's been some really good movement this year. A lot of money been spent by Cambridge. Cambridge went out early and got some good players. My 3 that I've picked are, the top one that stands out for me is Gary Roberts, who moved from Chesterfield to Pompey.
Yeah.
Anyone who saw Gary Roberts in the promotion season for Chesterfield would vouch that he probably was the best player easily by a mile in that division. So for Gary Cook to be able to bring him along to Pompey, I think Gary Roberts is a standout one. My second one is Craig McCall-Smith.
Okay, yeah.
At Luton, which you'll be pleased about, Nick.
Possibly.
He's a typical League 2 player with with the utmost respect for League Two, but anyone who sees Macau Smith, he harries defenders, he runs in the channels, he does all the dirty work that really people don't want to do. But if he's recovered from his Achilles injury, he will score lots of goals for Luton. And then finally, one that we come up against on Saturday, Josh Simpson, who's got to Plymouth. He's a player that I would love us to have been able to attract. But Plymouth obviously went for him early. He did take a long while to find a club, but I think he was probably looking around for what was there. But he had a cracking time with Crawley when they were steamrolling everybody, and he is my number 3 top player.
Simpson, what position will Simpson be playing for Plymouth?
I believe in the centre midfield area with them.
Okay.
So, yeah, it will be an interesting one.
I suppose we should mention at this point, talk about signings, that as we just recorded this, we got word not too long ago that Craig Tanner has signed on loan for Plymouth as well, which is an interesting signing, but we'll talk again about Plymouth later. I can't disagree with any of those choices there, Stu. For me, I just wanted to touch on an interesting one, because I mentioned Accrington Stanley earlier. I noticed they've signed Billy Key, formerly of Burton and Scunthorpe, a striker that was very highly rated a couple of seasons ago. Could be a very important signing for them, because if Accrington are going to stay up this season, they're going to have to score goals. They concede goals quite easily, except against us apparently. But Billy Key could be one to watch this coming season.
Interesting one.
Speaking of which, top scorer for next season, any predictions? Lyle Taylor aside, maybe?
If no one's put a bet on Lyle Taylor yet, he is, I think, 25 to 1. He did start out 33s. I don't know how. That's a great bet, even each way on that one. Not I'm a betting person, but I know that was a stupid odds. My one will be Mark Richards at Northampton.
Yeah, absolutely. I like him. Yeah,
to score goals. We spoke about him regularly last year, didn't we? For Northampton, they were having a poor season. He was still putting goals away, and he got an injury. All right, Nick, didn't he? He got an injury late on
towards the end of the season
for a little while, didn't he? Otherwise, I think he would have been top goal scorer last year.
Yeah, definitely. A player that I know we've got good options this year up front, but I would always take Richards if we got the opportunity, and he might be my pick this year as well. Okay, will he fire Northampton to promotion though? And if not, who will the 3 promoted teams be? Well, 4 promoted teams, I guess, if you include the playoffs, but we'll settle for the 3 automatic.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I don't think Northampton will. They're fancied by the bookies, but I think that's on their previous campaigns. But I don't see it this year for Northampton. My promoted teams, Luton, spent lots of money. Pompey, finally, I think we'll have a manager who can deal with the expectation that the Pompey faithful demand. And I don't see past Cambridge with the players they brought in. They brought in some really good players early on. And if I was a betting man, that would be my 3 that I would fancy for promotion. Yeah,
I wouldn't disagree with you. Do you know what I found interesting this month was, I don't know if you saw it, the 442 season preview edition. I make a point of buying every year. Can you have a guess? If I was to give you one guess who they predicted will win League Two this year, would you have who would you venture a guess for?
442. By judging by the way you've talked there, it's obviously someone totally random. I don't know. Northampton, maybe Wickham. I don't know what they've gone for.
They've gone for Oxford, which has come totally out of the blue to me, because this is a team that I'm not expecting anything of this coming season, and yet they are their picks for number 1. And I think a couple of other places I've seen have actually mentioned Oxford being in the mix. I don't see it myself, with all due respect to any Oxford fans listening.
To be fair, I did look at the... me and my friends at work, we have a little look on the betting on our teams we support, and I actually did notice that Oxford were quite highly fancied, and I did chuckle at that, because I looked at their squad also as well, and I don't see it this year, but maybe, I don't know.
I don't see it either, but it links me nicely to my next question, because with that little bit of expectation placed on Oxford this year, and can go one way or the other, but will Michael Appleton, their manager, be in danger of losing his job maybe if they do not perform to that level? And if he doesn't lose his job, who will be the first manager to lose theirs?
Well, the funny thing is, actually, we sort of just spoke about Oxford. I did actually have Appleton down to be in the first.
I'm not surprised, though, to be fair.
When I looked at their squad, they bought Slocum from Scunthorpe, who I think is an excellent goalkeeper. And they've spent a bit of money, you can see that, but I don't think they spent anything.
Nothing that stood out to me particularly.
No, I don't think if you, and I try not to, well, I do this every season if people would have known me, but I always compare our forward line to others, and I don't see how their forward line is going to be anywhere near ourselves.
No.
But that's what I don't. Appleton, no disrespect to the Oxford fans that listen, but I don't see Appleton. His track record isn't great, and I think the expectation that Oxford fans may have, which they always do seem to have, I don't think he will see the season out.
No, fair enough. Okay. Happier times then. Next season, which ground are you most looking forward to visiting or returning to see?
I've got a few this year because I've done, I think, about 70 odd grounds, I think, in my time, so I'm still way short of some people have done all 92, but the grounds that I've not done are Orient.
Okay, yeah.
Orient.
That, yeah.
I did Yeovil many years in a friendly, but it's not really a league game. So Yeovil, lovely part of the country, and Notts County, because Nottingham is a lovely place to go.
Fair enough. Least looking forward?
Anywhere cold.
Anywhere cold. Right, brilliant. Okay, well, that narrows it down.
So Morecambe, cold. Hartlepool, coldest place on earth, right on the North Sea. Bristol Rovers, cold, horrible, never get anything. And they don't even give you a cover on the terrace, do they?
No, they don't, to be fair. Another place that doesn't do that is Accrington, but I won't be going back there this year. And the ground I'm probably least looking for... Well, actually, you said Morecambe. I'm looking forward to that because I've still not done Morecambe, so I'm finally going to get to Morecambe this year. But, and there's a few new grounds as well, like you mentioned. Yeovil will be great. Cardiff next week. Looking forward to that.
Of course.
But yeah, do you know which ground I'm actually least looking forward to visiting this coming season?
Least?
Yeah.
No, Wickham, something like that?
Sadly, no. I have to be honest. It's ours. I am sick of it now, and I know we're all getting prepared to move, hopefully very, very shortly, to the Greyhound Stadium. But as much as I love my football club, the Kings Meadow experience is beginning to suck the energy out of me. Sadly.
And you live round the corner, Nick.
I only live round the corner. I know it is the closest ground ever that I've lived near. Well, Luton maybe aside, but yeah, do you know what? I think we need a big ground. Everything about our club just needs an upgrade now, doesn't it?
Yeah, we should get. I love it now. We've got a scoreboard. I'm easily pleased.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Anyone that knows me, all I want is blue and yellow nets. As when you score a goal, I just would love to see it go to blue and yellow net. And yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think we need to get the ground decision as soon as we can. And I think from what I hear from the rumour mill, or not rumour mill, but from people that obviously are talking, we should see something in September. So I think we desperately need that news, don't we? And some positive news
definitely.
as well.
Cool. Right, very, very quickly then, because we're running a bit over. Where are we going? Where are we, Wimbledon, going to finish in the league this coming season?
Top 10, I reckon that'd do me. Always progression from where we were last year. I think top 10 with a push on for the playoffs is a realistic expectation, and I can't see us being anywhere near the bottom. Famous last words to touch wood, but I can't see it.
No, I'd agree with you. I'll go for a top 10, pushing for that final playoff place. And that brings us to the end of our little look forward to the new season of what we think might happen. Now, of course, this season as well sees Channel 5 take over the highlights from the BBC for the terrestrial highlights, I should say, of the Football League. They've got some ideas with a different format, hosted by Kelly Cates and George Riley. Any ideas, Stu? George Riley?
I don't know. I know Kate isn't the female. I've forgotten her name. Isn't she the Kenny Dalglish's daughter?
Yeah, that's Kenny Dalglish's daughter. Yeah, so she's very good. She's very good on the BBC and stuff. She'll be fine. George Riley, I
haven't got a clue.
I think he won Britain's Got Talent. Did he? I don't know. Anyway, just a reminder then, on this coming Saturday night then at 9pm to set your Sky Plus for that. Channel 5, 9pm. And, right, we need to get moving because I realise how pushed for time we are. Contest, I'll run through the contest very, very quickly then. Stu, did you have a prediction for the coming season for our prediction contest?
Yeah, I thought it was just a bit of a random one. I reckon we're going to see James Shea appear on Britain's Got Talent.
Right.
As a hypnotist.
As a what, sorry?
A hypnotist.
Right.
And he will hypnotise people as much as he does this season with the forwards who can't get past him. So, yeah, a random
That is very, very random. I don't think my $9.99 is going to you. I will stick with my Bayo on the One Show talking about Yoga in Prisons prediction. And here are a few of the other predictions we've had, all hoping to win the £9.99 worth of club merchandise. Should they come true by the end of the season? So the first one we had emailed to me by Dave Stewart. He predicted the scoreboard will not work for 20%, which is quite. I don't know how we're going to work this one out. 20% of our games. So I reckon probably about 5 games he reckons the scoreboard won't be working. It might be. That's a pretty good shout, to be fair. Yeah. We'll say no more about that. Ruth Langsford, she emailed, been in touch. Thank you, Ruth. She's predicted that Bayo will appear on This Morning before the end of the season to discuss manicures. So, okay. Mark Draper on Facebook. It's a name vaguely familiar. On our Facebook page at facebook.com/9YIS podcast, I must say. He believes will sign former Leeds United and England goalkeeper Paul Robinson off the back of obviously signing someone with a similar name. I say similar name, it's the same name. I think he was just happy that he managed to find our Paul Robinson on Wikipedia and not the other one. And Jeff Hawley, who you might know from Radio WDON fame, he followed that one up on Facebook by saying, I predict a riot. I can only imagine he's thinking maybe at Portsmouth or at Luton, if they're not going to get promoted. Whether we'll be playing them at that stage, who knows? I can't imagine there'll be a riot at an AFC Wimbledon game unless someone brings in a copy of the Daily Mail or something into the stand, and there'll be a big hoo-ha over that in the main stand.
We're too nice, aren't we? We're too nice.
Say that again?
We're too nice for everybody. Everyone loves us, don't they?
Everyone does love us. Everyone loves us. We are too nice. And that probably, well, we'll see what comes. We'll see if any of these predictions come true at the end of the season, Stu. But I can only say at this point that with our 4 predictions, that the contest was a roaring success. And if I mention at this point King of Tickets, I wonder how many people will get the reference. But never mind. Right, moving on. Stu, last week I asked you a few questions about your time supporting Wimbledon.
Yes, you did.
It's your time now to get your own back on me with some questions of your own.
Okay, I thought I'd go with your name for your haircuts. So, out of all your strange haircuts, what is your favourite?
Thank you, Stu. My hairdresser Nicky Clark will be interested in this one. Do you know what, Stu? Do you remember when I had my hair braided?
Couple days.
Do you remember this? Many years ago, it might have been in the first season at Kings Meadow for a period of about a week. My flatmate at the time, with yellow and blue beads, braided hair. Yes, I did enjoy that haircut. Yeah, next. What is your favourite service station when travelling on coaches to away games? Shoot, I don't know the names of any of these places. I get on the coach, I sit, and I have no idea. I'll say Sherwell Valley because I know the name of it. I don't know. I'm not like Comedy Dave. I don't know my service stations. You know these better than me. But okay, Oxford's quite nice actually. Oxford have quite nice services. Their manager's terrible apparently, but they have nice services. And the last one.
Super. Go on then. I'll let you get away with it more. I'll add something in the future.
Okay, I got away quite lightly with that one actually. I was expecting a question about Luton or Fulham or something, but don't ask listeners, don't worry. We'll come on to that another time. Okay, thank you, that's Stu. Right, let's look ahead then to Saturday. Very, very quickly, prediction for Plymouth?
Tough game. I think we edge it the home advantage for the first game of the season, the buzz. I reckon we'll edge it by the odd goal, 2-1, I reckon.
Fair enough. Yeah, we've only lost once on the opening day, something like the last 18 seasons or something. But it is a hard game. I'm torn between a draw or, like you, a win. I've not made my mind up yet, but my prediction will be going on the Asker Prediction League. Now, this season, Stu and I will be adding our forecasts to the Asker Prediction League, which you can find at www.neil's-site.co.uk/APL2, and I'll add that address to Twitter, Facebook, and all the other places, YouTube and everything. Ask Prediction League now, or APL, has been running for many years, does exactly as the name suggests really. You can predict the score of every game throughout the season and compare yourself to other Dons fans. It is just a bit of fun. There's no prize for winning it, but it's well worth taking part. So if you head over there now, you can make your prediction for Plymouth and I think for all the games in August if you want. Very, very quickly, we're running over, as I knew we would. Saturday also marks, I had to say this, my parents' 45th wedding anniversary. So I'd just like to wish them a very happy anniversary. If you're at the game on Saturday and maybe see a let's say, a mature couple sitting next to each other in the main stand. The man's probably shouting at the referee, and the woman is looking like she wants the ground to swallow her up. That'll be my mum and dad, so please say hello. Also, can you remember you can get updates from the Plymouth game and also the Cardiff game next Tuesday on the Periscope app. Now, on Saturday for the Cheltenham game, I couldn't make the Cheltenham game, but I have the app, the Periscope app. A little message came up to say that Stu or Paul, one or the other, Paul Raymond, were live. I then swiped my phone, got the live feed from the stadium with team lineups, half-time chat about how we're doing, and a full-time report. It was very, very good on Saturday. I was very, very impressed. Also interactive as well, so you can actually ask questions of Paul and Stu of what their opinion of the game. If you have any questions about anything that's going on, they can answer you live. So it's really, really good. So I'll send you to the Twitter account once again, at AFCW Scope, for more information. But also let you know, if you get the Periscope app, you can download it from Google Play or iTunes. Have a look for it and then search for AFCW Scope, and then you can get the messages coming through as well. Wow. Breathless. Away from Kings Meadow, Stu, another game in League 2 that's caught your eye this week, very quickly.
Yeah, my one will be Orient versus Barnet, team going down versus a team that's going to be on a high. Could be an interesting battle of teams. Yeah,
I like the look of that one as well. Bristol Rovers Northampton for me, just because I'm interested to see how these two teams do this season. Never easy to go to a team that's just been promoted. So Northampton might be in for a tough game, but I'm not expecting Bristol Rovers to be putting up any trees this season. No. And then finally, just run through these reminders then. Next week, we'll be back. We'll be talking about the Plymouth game and how it went. We'll also be talking about the Cardiff game in the League Cup on the Tuesday. If you want to go to the Cardiff game, you haven't made any travel arrangements yet, the supporters coach is going for £20 English, leave South Wimbledon Tube at 2:30, Kingsmeadow at 3, returning straight after the game. So give the club a call as soon as possible to see if you can still book on there. I think I'm right in saying it's the first time we'll be playing in our new third kit, in a competitive game at least. I see the reaction to that new third kit Ivor has described at Don's Trust meeting as, in inverted commas, interesting. So it'll be interesting to see our players live for the first time wearing that. Don't forget also the draw for the first round of the Johnson's Paint Trophy, Saturday morning, 10:15 on Soccer AM, which you can watch on Sky One or Sky Sports. And we're in the southwest section. We will play either Barnet, Exeter, Newport, Plymouth, Portsmouth, Swindon or Yeovil. Any preference, Stu?
Yeah, home game against anyone. Well, actually, no, not anyone. Probably Newport, so I can get a nice seat, because we don't tend to. That's the cup we don't really tend to get a decent attendance for, do we? But just a home tie. No further travelling at this stage of the season for me, please.
Fair enough. I personally don't care. Right.
Fair.
Yeah. Thanks, Stu. Thank you for listening. Remember to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/9YRS Podcast, Twitter at 9YRS Podcast, and look for us on iTunes. Join us again next Thursday, August 13th, when Stu and I will be discussing the Olympic doping scandal with Rio Ferdinand, if he remembers to turn up, and I'm not convinced he will. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you then.